Love is Love by Fotini. Oh, Haman.
The Cypri.
The Cypri. Το βρήκα.
Hello everyone, my name is Fotini. In this presentation I will talk about acceptance. In this topic I will analyze the love between two people of the same sex. More specifically, I will talk about acceptance from society and how people feel about their sexual identity. The acceptance of so-called LGBTQ individual by society. Acceptance of the LGBTQ community in Greece varies by region and social group. In large cities such as Athens and Thessaloniki, there is generally greater acceptance and support. There are many organizations that promote the rights of LGBTQ people and organize events such as the Pride Parade. However, there are also people who are against LGBTQ community. In more traditional or rural areas, views can be more conservative and acceptance may be limited. Many LGBTQ people may feel frustrated or lonely, especially if they face discrimination or rejection from society or their family. On the other hand, there are also many who feel proud of their identity and find support and acceptance through communities and organizations. Acceptance and support from friends, family, and society at large can have a positive impact on their mental health and well-being. It is important to create an environment where everyone can freely express their identity without fear. Now, I would like to share my personal experience and what my parents think about it. I have a boy best friend who is gay, but I love him and I support him always. I want to make him feel comfortable and talk to me freely. My parents think that this is not normal, but they don't mind if I have a friend who is gay or lesbian. But they don't want their child to be lesbian. We have talked about it, and they have told me that if I understand I'm in love with some girl, they will accept me and support me because I'm their child. But I don't give a fuck about it because love is love.
So, wow, it was great, especially if we bring attention to more vulnerable communities. So, to continue, we have Elena and Aphrodite with Think Twice.
Hello, I'm Helen.
And I'm Aphrodite. We are here with House of English.
Today, we want to talk to you about our future and what might happen if we don't start making changes.
Helen, isn't it time to start caring about today's major problems instead of ignoring them?
Yes, Aphrodite, but what if people aren't fully aware of these issues? For example, I'm pretty sure most of us here didn't know that AI consumes 11,040 terawatts of energy and 62,100 liters of water every day.
That's actually one of the reasons why many countries around the world are facing water and energy crisis. But AI doesn't just impact the environment. We conducted a survey with 60 participants, asking them various questions. Here are some of the results.
First of all, 59 out of 60 people we surveyed knew what AI is, and actually 70% of them use it in their everyday life. For what purposes? Well, most of them use it for information and inspiration, while 20.4% use it for studying.
Moreover, AI is used to create deep fake videos and voice recordings, which often end up on social media, spreading misinformation.
So this is why we should think twice before believing anything we see on social media.
Now that you mention social media, I have no doubt that most of us here spend hours scrolling. In our survey, we also asked how much time people spend on social media. Here are the results. Around 45% spend 1 to 2 hours online, while 36.7% spend 3 to 4 hours.
But as you can see, 5 people spend 5 or more hours online.
Basically, this happens because of dopamine, a neurotransmitter known as a feel-good chemical. It boosts energy, enhances mood, and increases self-esteem.
Dopamine is released every time you scroll, making you want to keep going. That's why it is easy to get stuck in a circle of endless scrolling. But what are the effects of excessive scrolling? Well, consuming random information can limit your critical thinking.
In fact, we may be limiting our brain's growth. However, we don't actually burn brain cells, as many people believe. Lastly, this is why many kids today struggle with reading comprehension and processing information in text form.
But Aphrodite, if technology already has these kinds of effects, what will the future look like?
My prediction? AI will keep advancing, but if we don't set limits, it might take over more than we expect.
Exactly. AI can be useful, but we shouldn't let it think for us. We have brains. Let's use them. So, next time you scroll, stop, think twice. And here's a challenge. Try going one day without mindless scrolling. No doom scrolling, no getting lost in the algorithm. Do you think you can do it?
AI is here to stay. The real question is, will we control it or will it control us?
Think twice! Thank you!
We've got one more disruptive shot by the Apithita, Dr. Dora Psoma. After that, we're going to have a very short break for 5 minutes. I haven't thanked Zoe Konstantopoulou, Manolis Ionas for being here with us today. So thank you and welcome, and thank you for staying. And also someone else that I don't remember the name. Και ο Θάνος Ψαρόπουλος, ο πρόεδρος των εποχιακών πυροσβεστών, να τον χειροκροτήσουμε. Ευχαριστούμε που είστε εδώ. So we're going to have the disruptive shot, a 5-minute break, and then I want everybody back to go on. We are right on schedule, no worries. So, Dora.
Hello again, everyone. These are the students from the School of English that will complete their project today. Thank you very much for your support. First-year students in the School of English try to think socially, politically, and of course, ecologically. In their project, with a focus on Sylvia Plath, the Belgian, they mainly address gender issues in America's 1950 decade. So, the presentation by Hara and Konstantina will begin in... Hello? Okay. Hara is the first? Okay. Konstantina, come and help me. Yep. Okay. So big applause for Hara and Konstantina, first-year students from the School of English.
So, hi everyone. My name is Hara Lizerino and I'm a first-year student in the Department of English Language and Literature at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. And today I'd like to show you my contribution to the mood board you saw earlier. So these are the pictures that I found, and together with my team, we thought that they should hold a position on the mood board. Starting off, this is an annotated version of the first chapter, just the first page, which we put in the center of the mood board, and therefore, as you can understand, it laid the foundations for the rest of the creative process. Now, as I read the first chapter, I got instantly reminded of The Green Mile, which is the movie adaptation of Stephen King's 1996 novel. In case you haven't read the book or haven't watched the movie, the story follows the friendship of a prison guard and a wrongly convicted inmate who was sentenced to death on the electric chair. So both this fictional narrative and the Rosenberg story that we see in the bell jar raise questions regarding the morality of the legal system and justice in general, as well as the debate that may rise among society due to political circumstances. This is a press cutting from a Scottish newspaper, Glasgow Herald, which showcases the emotional state of the heroine who feels lonely despite being in a bustling city like New York, whereas pressure also accumulates due to the constant information she receives in the city. Lastly, I included this painting, Ophelia, by John Everett Millay, which brings forth this sense of asphyxiation and tension that she felt during the story. I'm sorry. And through the quote, "New York was bad enough," Plath manages within just 5 words to convince her readers about the ugly truth of living in New York, which is otherwise regarded as the city of dreams and opportunity. Now let's move on to my individual project, which, as you may have noticed, regards feminism. It's a poem I wrote in the context of the creative workshop Inside the Jar with Sylvia, and it is a hymn to femininity. I got inspired by Sylvia Plath's essence of feminism throughout the bell jar, but most importantly, Toni Morrison's autobiographical story, The Work You Do, The Person You Are, also inspired the form of my poem, which is a concrete one. Concrete poetry refers to the arrangement of linguistic elements in such a way that shapes are created. If you noticed before, the word bleed, for example, is almost like blood drips down the page. My goal was to showcase how women are in an unfair position in society, mostly due to patriarchal structures, and I chose to represent them as glass bottles, because despite the fact that we are represented as vulnerable and weak, that doesn't mean that us as women cannot claim a more prominent position in society. That's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hello everybody, I am Konstantina Makridou and I will present Youth Society Inside the Bell Jar, of course by Sylvia Plath. Before I move on to the next slide, in which I analyze the photo that I choose to include, I would like to warn you that if someone of you is triggered by corpses, please do not pay attention to the photos. So, the execution of the Rosenbergs, as it was previously mentioned, it was the center of the attention in the US during the 50s decade. And it was all you could read about in the newspapers, magazines, as well as the headlines, of course, over the radio and in people's offices, which is why the heroine of the story kept hearing so much about them that she couldn't get them out of her head. It was like the first time that she saw a cadaver for the first time and hallucinated its head floating behind her eggs and bacons, which is the reason why we decided to put this picture on top of the photo of the dead Rosenbergs. Fancy, right? But, of course, oops, that's a technical mistake, don't mind it. The American dream and American luxurious life still remained the ultimate goal in people's lives. That also explains why in the end of this chapter we see the heroine trying to enjoy herself in a night out and drinking vodka, even though she doesn't like vodka at all or night out, but that's a part of the American dream. So she keeps along, she goes along with it. Next, I will present to you Blinded or Colorblind, which is a multimodal artwork which I created. It is inspired by the bell jar and the work Do the Person You Are. It is a critique on racial discriminations. It includes several figures intertwining with each other and the layout, of course. Don't worry, I will show it again later. Let's start by analyzing those symbols. First of all, we see 2 women, one black and one white. The difference between them is their facial expressions. The white one seems calm, neat, wearing her jewelry, and we could hypothetically say that she's subtly smiling. On the other hand, the black one seems sad, devastated, as if she's not really able to express herself, and that her feelings are oppressed, which symbolizes the oppression faced by the black community. And also, we have two figures, you see, one resembling a black woman and one a white one. And the black one is placed behind the white one, which again symbolizes the stereotypes about racial stereotypes about the social statuses and social position. Also, we have the symbol of the balance scale. As we see, the balance scale on the black woman's side is lower and heavier than the other one on the white woman's side. That symbolizes the social weight that drags down the black community, of course. And also another detail that you may have not noticed is the layout in which black and white, I would say, kind of try to blend with each other, but actually end up separated again. That symbolizes the inefficient attempts that have been made to put an end in racism, but as I say, they're inefficient, they're not enough. That was the English department presentation. Thank you for your attention. We have included our emails in case you want to contact us. And of course, special thanks to Dora Psoma, our wonderful instructor.
Me, who plays volleyball and likes books, Adriana, who is an acrobat and likes puzzles, and Athena, who does early yoga and crafts, with a presentation called Chasing Trends.
Hi, I'm Fotini Helmi.
I'm Andriana Caprara. I'm Athena Paganopoulou and we're from Malki Language School.
And we're going to talk about fast fashion. First we have how fast fashion works. 1. Trend spotting and design fast. Fashion brands quickly identify new trends from fashion shows, social media, celebrities, and street styles. They use design teams and AI tools to replicate high fashion looks at lower prices. Second, frequent new arrivals. Unlikely traditional brands that release collections 2 to 4 times a year, fast fashion brands release new styles every week or even daily. 3. Short product lifespan. Fast fashion is designed to be disposable, cheap enough that customers can afford to buy new styles frequently, but low quality so they wear out quickly. Fourth and the last, waste and pollution. Million tons of clothing end up in landfills. And now we have environmental impact about fast fashion. 1. Waste. 92 million tons of discarded garments find their way into landfills, out of the 100 billion that produced every year. 2. Water pollution. Toxic dyes and microplastic contaminate rivers and oceans. 3. Water consumption. Cotton production drains water supplies. 4. Microplastics. Polyester clothing sets plastic fibers, harming marine life. Fifth and the last, carbon emission. The industry produces 8 to 10% of global CO2 emissions. Factories burn fossil fuels for production and transportation.
Worker exploitation. Garment workers in low-wage countries, for example Bangladesh and India, earn as little as $3 per day. Child labor and forced labor are common in supply chains. Unsafe conditions, factories are overcrowded, poorly ventilated and prone to disasters. Human rights violation. Long 12 to 16-hour shifts, often 7 days a week. Workers are exposed to toxic chemicals from dyes and fabrics. Many lack basic rights, such as fair wages and safe workplaces. The industry employs about 75 million factory workers worldwide. yet less than 2% earn a living wage. Consumer manipulation encourages overconsumption, making people feel they need to constantly buy new clothes. Low prices equals poor quality, to leading waste and repeat purchase. Fast fashion profits from cheap labor and unethical practices, harming both workers and consumers. And what is the bigger picture of fast fashion? Fast fashion may be affordable, but its hidden cost pollution, exploitation and waste are enormous. Many consumers are now turning to sustainable fashion, thrifting and ethical brands to fight back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, girls, for highlighting the faults of the fashion industry today. And moving forward, we have the presentation titled Escaping the Shadows by Iliana, Valeria, Maria, and Angeliki. Let's go.
What if I told you that before you were even born, the world had already decided who you were allowed to be? From the moment a girl is born, she lives inside the cage. This cage is built up from religion, prejudice and control, and she is forced to obey to someone else's rules. We say is accused to the societies who still support this ideology, and we embrace Entangeld because this is the only way we can break this chain of limitations.
At every stage of life, women are handed new shackles, more restrictions. As little girls, pink is for you. Be sweet, be cute. As teenagers, your body is public property. Expect comments. As adults, you want a career, a family, both. Pick wisely. Society will judge you. As we age, your voice matters less now. Step aside. Who decided this? Who gave them the right? More importantly, why are we still listening?
Let's expose the truth. These gender roles weren't created by accident. They exist to keep power where it has always been. The media bombards us with the same old story. Strong men, weak women. Families pass it down as traditions. Rules that no one remembers writing. Workplaces expect women to work harder, earn less, and never, ever complain. For every dollar a man makes, a woman earns less. If she speaks up, she's difficult. If she stays quiet, she's not leadership material. Women are told that they can be anything, but when they demand more, they're labeled bossy, difficult, emotional. Meanwhile, men in power, they're bold, decisive, leaders. This is not just a rigged system, it's a trap.
Enough is enough. Let's talk about the cost of these norms. How often do you see people making characterization about women by only paying attention to their looks? It is considered normal to get comments for your body, the way you talk, the way you dress, how much skin you show off. You're sexualized before you even remember yourself. An idealistic type of attractiveness is promoted to you, from innocent cartoons, movies, princesses, dolls, social media. On these insecurities that cause women the constant feeling of pressure, of not doing enough, depression, anxiety, eating disorders. Advertisements promote insecurities to their audience in order to sell products that will save them from not being too attractive, about their hairstyle, cosmetics, diet, and exercise. We accuse the government that ignore these realities. We accuse the industries that profit from our insecurities. We accuse all of us when we stay silent, because silence isn't neutral, it's a choice.
We don't want empty empowerment slogans. We want action, we want revolution. Teach boys and girls that emotions aren't gendered. Kindness isn't feminine. Strength isn't masculine. Call out sexism when you see it, at school, at work, at home. No more laughing it off. Stop forcing women to be grateful for the bare minimum. We don't want to sit at the table. We want to burn the table down and build something better.
For centuries, women have been told their place. This is our answer. We choose our own place. You are more likely to change yourself to fit in than to improve your well-being and feel better with yourself. A woman's value is not in how well she fits in society's mold, but how boldly she shatters it. The question is,
will you be part of the revolution or will you be part of the problem?
Now we're going to see Little Lies, Big Deceptions from Kyriaki Mourati, then she likes music.
Hello, my name is Kyriaki Mourati from EduSmart by Alakios Zogloevi, and here's my presentation. Have you ever thought about how many lies we hear and say in a single day? Lies shape our world, not just the one we tell others, but the one we tell ourselves. This became clear to me when I was studying J'accuse by Émile Zola. Zola's letter exposed corruption at the highest level. He accused powerful figures of covering up the truth to protect themselves. But what struck me the most wasn't just that they lied. It was that they likely believed their own lies. That's the power of self-deception. After showing interest in J'accuse, my teacher gave me research on self-deception. And what I learned was shocking. We don't just deceive others, we deceive ourselves, sometimes without even realizing it. Studies show that people who cheat on IQ tests actually believe they are smarter and deserve their high score. They deserve their high score when they use the censorship. They convince themselves this happens everywhere. This happens everywhere. For example, a student copies their answers and believes they earned the grade. A worker takes credit for an idea and convinces themselves they contribute more than they did. And when these small lies grow, we get cases like Elizabeth Holmes and Anna Sorokin, fraudsters who build their own lives on deception. But here's the scary part. They probably believed their own lies. They weren't just tricking others, they were tricking themselves. This is exactly what happened in the Dreyfus affair. The officials who accused Captain Dreyfus weren't just lying to the public, they were also lying to themselves. They convinced themselves that punishing an innocent man was necessary to protect their reputation and careers. And we see this today. Politicians who defend ideas they once opposed, because they convince themselves they now believe in them. It's not just manipulation, it's self-deception at work. We like to think that self-deception is harmless, but research shows otherwise. In one study, doctors were given financial incentives to prescribe certain medications. Even when those drugs weren't the best option, the doctors truly believed they were acting in their patient's best interests. They've convinced themselves their choices were right. This doesn't just happen in medicine. It happens in finance, business, and everyday life. We make decisions that seem justified because we fooled ourselves into thinking they are. So how do we stop self-deception? The truth is, it's hard, because it's uncomfortable. It requires us to challenge our own beliefs and admit when we might be wrong. And that's exactly what Zola did. When the world was willing to accept a lie, he stood up and said, J'accuse, I accuse you of corruption, of injustice, of deception. Today I ask you, what lies do we believe? What truths do we ignore because they are convenient? We all need to have our own J'accuse. We must be willing to confront deception, even when we must be willing to confront deception, not just in others, but also in ourselves. Because only by facing the truth can we avoid making the same mistakes history has shown us time and time again. Thank you.
Let's all applaud for Kyriaki and welcome on stage Nick, George, Gabriela, Isabella, and Christos for their House of Death.
On July 23, 2018, a deadly wildfire hit Mati, Greece, killing 104 people and destroying homes and property. The fire spread quickly due to the strong wind, leaving residents with little time to escape. Many were trapped in their homes or cars, while others tried to flee to the sea. Others drowned when they wandered into the sea to escape the flames. Many people who went into the sea had to wait for several hours for help to arrive. Local fishermen were the first to help ahead of the Coast Guard and Navy.
The disaster exposed major problems such as the lack of an evacuation plan, poor emergency response, and blocked roads due to illegal buildings. Survivors criticized the back-then government for its slow and unorganized help during and after the fire. The ones found guilty were sentenced to 3 or 5 years of imprisonment, which increased the family's victims' pain and anger.
104 people died, dozens got injured, and hundreds of buildings were destroyed. And on top of that, the culprits were let go and allowed to pay fines of up to 40,000 euros. None of the politicians among the 21 people prosecuted were convicted, sparking fury amongst relatives of the victims present in court. The governor of the region of Attica and mayors of districts in and around the seaside community of Mati, northeast of the capital, were all let off. That was also the case for the 15 firefighting officials, police, civil protection and local government officials were cleared of all charges and their names were never named known to the public.
Christina, the owner of the property where 26 people died, says we've been called the owners of the House of Death, the couple who built illegally and cut off access to the sea. The truth is, people were burned alive because traffic police misdirected drivers down to the coastal road. They couldn't get to the sea, even on foot, because a tree blocking the nearest access alley went up in flames. In their panic, they ended up outside our property, and that's when we opened the gates and let them through. But our plot ends at a cliff. There isn't a beach below, but there are rocks, accessed by surmouth steps that my grandfather had built. We'd had the plot since the 30s. The first group, the people we saw, made it. Others behind them didn't.
Barbara, a teacher from Greece who survived the fire, says officials claim we're to blame because we prevented access to roads and built where we shouldn't have without proper planning. It's become a line of defense to cover our own ineptitude. Over the years, houses like mine, which they now say are in forest land, have been legitimized by laws passed by states that want to make money. If not, why did the government allow me to buy the house? Why did they accept 30,000 euros in tax? Is my life or my money what matters?
For the past year, people have been campaigning to help burn victims. The state didn't think about providing nurses for them, even when they were needing 24/7. Have lessons been learned? I don't think so. Authorities haven't even asked the basic question. How could 104 people die, 100 be injured, with not one firefighter among them?
Those people, the ones who are lucky enough to survive, are still feeling haunted, not able to talk, not able to plan their future, and not able to get rid of burnt human flesh. We cannot bring the dead back to life. Can we at least make sure that no one will get away with not doing their job, no matter what that was? Can we make sure such tragedies will be avoided next time a fire breaks out? We need to trust the system and not consider it completely unreliable. The Mati fire highlighted the need for better planning, faster responses, and stronger safety measures to prevent such tragedies. Do that, it's your duty.
Well, thanks guys for shedding some light on this tragic event. Now let's welcome artist, storyteller, and passionate reader, Alexandra Sotiriou, with the story of suppressed feelings.
Okay, Alexandra is a bit stressed, so please clap for Alexandra.
Hi everyone, I'm Alexandra, and today I'm gonna tell you a story I wrote. So I'll just tell you a story. Once upon a time, a beautiful girl was born in a family of witches and wizards. She was loved and praised for her beauty, her caring heart, and her talent in magic. A few years later, her mother gave birth to one more girl. The girl loved her younger sister so much she would do anything for her. Now the thing is, their family loved to travel. They traveled every month, changing countries like birds. One day, as they were traveling, her sister realized she had forgotten her favorite book. Together, they went back to take it. Suddenly, they lost the rest of the family and left alone in a world full of danger. The older sister did everything to protect the other, so many things that in the process she lost herself. She became a monster to everyone except her sister. But then, inside her darkness, an angel, a light came to lead her back to happiness as she rebuilt her life and got back to her feet. My point is, nobody should put their feelings aside for someone else. I hope everyone finds their light and their angel. We're all human after all. Now, before I thank you, I want to tell you how this story came out. It was actually an assignment my teacher Mary gave us. She asked us to write our story, our life, as a fairy tale. So I'm asking you to do the same thing. Open your notes and write your own story as a fairy tale. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra, for sharing your story and sharing your presentation. We're now moving on to Evangelia, Dimitris, Areti, Benedicti, Eleni, Yannis, Christos, Nefeli, and a message from them is that they want their voice to be heard with a presentation called What if the 12 Gods of Olympus had social media accounts?
Have you ever wondered if the 12 gods of Olympus had social media accounts?
We have, so let's have a look at what had happened one seemingly peaceful afternoon.
Zeus is sitting on his throne, scrolling on Aphrodite's TikTok account.
Oh my god, wait a second, I'm God. Aphrodite is so gorgeous. She's the most beautiful woman on the mountain.
Hermes is passing by Zeus and sees him scrolling Aphrodite's reel.
Hi. So are you. Have you been complimenting the other goddesses? Only the ones that my heart chases. Your beautiful long hair and gorgeous blue eyes can express anyone. Oh, Zeus.
Hermes takes his mobile phone out and snaps a picture of the scene.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Here again, Zeus is looking at another woman.
Hermes quickly runs to spill the beans to Hera.
Here, I have something important to say.
What is it this time, Hermes?
I think Zeus is about to shit on Aphrodite.
What?
I saw him scrolling in Aphrodite Instagram reels.
I knew that these social media platforms are troublemakers for people my age.
It's not actually like that. Social media bring us fun. We use that to communicate, to meet new people. It is an entertainment tool for us. We listen to music, watch video, we even do our homeworks.
We all know about the disadvantages of social media. Parents, teachers, and adult relatives point them out all the time. We are all aware of the negative impact that social media have, but today we're here to talk about the positive impact that social media can also have.
Social media and technology have the potential to be powerful tools for promoting positive change and making a difference in the world.
Here are some ways that social media and technology can be used for positive impact.
Raise awareness. Social media can be used to raise awareness about important social issues and causes. By sharing news articles, videos, and personal stories, users can help educate others about the challenges facing different communities and inspire action.
Mobilize support. Social media can help mobilize support for social causes and campaigns. By creating hashtags, petitions, and online campaigns, users can help raise awareness and build momentum for social change.
Facilitate communication. Technology can help facilitate communication between different groups. By online creating forums and groups, users can bring diverse perspectives and the current constructive around important issues.
Social media can be used to fundraise for social causes and charities by sharing links to fundraising campaigns and organizing online events. Users can help raise money to support important causes.
Collaborate on solutions. Technology can facilitate collaboration between different groups and individuals.
All the above were put into practice almost 2 months ago when the whole country gathered to squares and streets to support the families of the tragic accident in Tempe.
Social media is an important source in our life. We can get information about the whole world in just a few seconds.
For example, when the citizens of Greece had to protest about the Tempe accident that happened 2 years ago, they saw where they had to go and when to protest.
Furthermore, social media has helped us to communicate with other users of the web.
Also, it can give us a chance to acquire new skills and improve our intelligence.
There is always the positive side that we need to turn our heads to.
So great of you to entangle Greek mythology with our modern reality. And moving on, we have next up, I Don't Have Oxygen by Maria, Christina, Stefania, and Magdalena. The floor is yours, guys.
Είναι ντροπή και ντρέπομαι που θέτετε θέματα ασφαλείας. Και θα ήθελα να ανακαλέσετε αμέσως. Είναι ντροπή όταν σας εξήγησα και το ξαναλέω ότι το γεγονός ότι αυτή τη στιγμή υπάρχουν ειδοί διασφαλίζουμε την ασφάλεια.
Πες τους δικούς μου ότι θα αργήσω απόψε. Ένα βαρχινό με τις δράχες και τους καπνούς. Το τελευταίο εισιτήριο κόψε. Γι' αυτό το τρένο που θα αγγίξει τους ουρανούς. Τι κάνω φίλε μου σαν πάρω απόψε. Σε δρομολόγια δίχως επιστροφή. Το σεβασμό σου στην τιμή μας δώσε. Το έγκλημα τους μην αφήσεις να ξεχάσεις.
I don't have oxygen.
Διασφαλίζουμε την ασφάλεια.
Be silent, be silent, be silent. Be silent, this be silent, a great art. Teach it to your wives, your kids, your mother-in-laws. And when you feel the need to speak, make it stop now. We are the truth. You must believe in us. We lead, we show you the way, not them. They are lying. Come, join us, and you'll be saved from the world's disasters. We will make you rich. We breathe love.
I was one of them who never saw the sun again because I bought a death ticket. All the hopes and dreams disappeared on the tracks of the train. I was screaming that I don't have oxygen, but no one listened.
How I wish I could speak, but someone has shut my mouth dead. I was one of the 57 victims who never saw their families again and didn't have the time to say the last goodbye.
I was murdered in 28th of February and I'm still dying because of you. You conceal the truth. It's all your fault.
It's all your fault. You are the one who will never sleep again peacefully because there will be people who will fight for truth. There are people who care about us while you only care about yourself and your chair. We will hunt you for life.
I'm just as a hope. I was on that deadly train too. I heard the screams, the unmissed calls that were never answered. I heard our own children screaming that they don't have oxygen. but no one listened. Someone shut my mouth. I couldn't speak. But hope always dies last. So I live to heal the wooden hearts of all the people of Greece. And justice has no legs. We have to bring it, and together we will succeed. We will give oxygen to 57 people. Now it's your turn to be silent.
Thank you.
Thank you for this beautiful show. Anyway, now we will move on to the cost of convenience. How tech giants exploit workers for faster services with Melina and the rest of the team. I'm sorry. Michail Angelos, yes. Kedros, Anestis, Latridis, Erai Kurusali.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
These are Naftali, Nathan, and Fasika. They were hired by an American outsourcing company called Sama, which provides services for Meta and OpenAI.
OpenAI agreed to pay Sama $12.50 an hour per worker. However, the workers received between $1.32 and $2 an hour after the taxes.
They spent 8 hours a day in front of a screen studying photos and videos, drawing boxes around objects and labeling them, teaching the AI algorithm to recognize them.
The worst thing, though, is that some of the projects for Meta and OpenAI where agreement caused them harm. They were assigned to train the AI to weed out pornography, hate speech, and photos of excessive violence and accident victims. The purpose of this was to make the AI safer for the consumers.
The relentless exposure of disturbing content proved to be deeply traumatizing for the workers, leaving many of them struggling with anxiety and emotional exhaustion.
On top of that, no trauma experts were provided. They were informed just a day before the payday that they had violated the company policy, leaving them unpaid and betrayed. Also, they were trapped in small-term contracts, and this was added to the stress and exploitation they already faced. Did you notice the mask? You guessed right. The on-demand services skyrocketed after the pandemic. The services were affordable, convenient, and accessible from your phone. Soon, the on-demand economy developed far beyond app-based services.
Amazon became a key part of it, offering rapid delivery for Prime members as it built out its own delivery network. The big 5 US tech giants, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Microsoft, made $1.2 trillion in the first 12 months of the pandemic, more than 25% higher than the year before.
Food delivery services like Uber Eats and Deliveroo rely not only on poorly paid workers. The Amazon's warehouse workers in the United States suffer serious injuries. The company's delivery workers have reported having to pee in bottles and even defecate in bags because the delivery targets are so high.
How can this work be more ethical? Tech giants should implement minimum wage standards. They should provide psychological support for content moderators. They should have transparency so that workers know for whom they are working and from whom they are getting paid. Public awareness. The consumers should demand ethical AI and transparency.
In the years to come, we will have an important choice to make. Do we continue to allow powerful capitalists to shape our lives for their benefit, or do we take back the power to determine our collective future? Thank you.
thank you guys for talking about something not enough discussed. And now we'll move on to Melina Laldu, a quite different topic about Megadeth or Metallica.
Hello everyone, I'm Melina and I'm going to talk about a big rivalry in the metal history. So, Metallica or Megadeth? This is one of the biggest debates in the metal history. Fans have been arguing for decades about which band is superior in terms of music, impact and songwriting. Why does this debate exist though, and is it even necessary? The roots of this rivalry go back to 1983 where Metallica fired their lead guitarist Dave Mustaine due to personal conflicts and substance abuse. Feeling betrayed, Dave Mustaine vowed to create a band that would surpass Metallica musically. This led to the formation of Megadeth. That fueled a competitive spirit among fans, and to this day they still compare the two bands and argue about which band has the best songs, live performances and albums. Even if this debate has been discussed for ages, it seems to be unnecessary. On the one hand, Megadeth wouldn't exist without Metallica. Mustaine played a crucial role in Metallica's early sound, and his anger led to the formation of Megadeth. In addition, some of Mustaine's early compositions are appeared in both bands, such as Mechanics by Megadeth and The Four Horsemen by Metallica. On the other hand, Metallica was influenced by Megadeth's technicality. Metallica started with a fast and aggressive sound, but when Megadeth pushed their limits of complexity, Metallica responded with evolving their sound on their album And Justice for All. This proves that even if Metallica came first, Megadeth had also an impact towards Metallica's evolution. In addition, they ended up having a lot in common. Aside from pushing each other to evolve, they also inspired other thrash metal bands such as Slayer, Testament, Anthrax, Pantera, etc. And they generally affect many metal bands to this day. And generally, many kind of genres like death metal are also inspired by them. And one of the most well-known things that they have in common is the Big Four concert, where both Metallica and Megadeth participated. In 2010, we witnessed one of the most important events in thrash metal history when Anthrax, Slayer, Metallica, and Megadeth participated in the Big Four concert. Why is it important for Megadeth and Metallica, though? All four bands, including Metallica and Dave Mustaine, performed Am I Evil together on stage. This proved that thrash metal is about evolving together, not starting arguments. And if Dave Mustaine and Metallica could put the history aside and share the stage, then so should the fans do. Dave Mustaine's perspective from rivalry to respect. In the Westward interview in 2016, Dave Mustaine admitted that his hate towards Metallica has faded, and he has nothing against Metallica fans nor the members. Some people treat Megadeth and Metallica like their football teams, but thrash metal isn't about arguing about which band is better, but it's about evolving. Without Metallica, Megadeth wouldn't exist. Without Megadeth, Metallica wouldn't sound the same. Thrash metal was never about starting random rivalries. It was about making something powerful. At the end of the day, the real winners aren't the fans who argue all the time, but the fans who enjoy both. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Melina, for giving us this insight on this heated debate in the music world. So now, let's continue with Ioli Dato, an artist, with their project A Musical World.
Now, you would think that you can never just look at someone and guess that they're an artist by the way they look or how they act. The actual way to detect an artist is up to you entirely. Only the way you and your brain view another person or even yourself can detect an artist. Now, you would think, could I also be an artist? Or where do I take place in that? Well, everyone is an artist. And by artist, I mean everyone has creative ideas that makes them an artist. An artist isn't just someone that creates art. You're not just born with the ability. You have to discover it yourself by learning yourself better. You're the creator of your own creative world. You shape your world with ideas, choices, and actions. Art isn't just about masterpieces. It's in the way we communicate, we think, and in the way we live our everyday life. Without art, any kind of art, the world wouldn't have much interest. Art is more useful than it seems. Everything is what it is from art itself. Art has shaped human life from the very beginning, influencing history, culture, storytelling, language, beliefs, identity, and communication. Most likely, every single one of you in here has listened to music even once in your life. I have too. I remember listening to music from when I was young. It always helped. The beat and the sensation of the music helped me relax. I always listen to music when I'm sad or frustrated. It makes me feel better because it's music. On several social media platforms, there are a lot of videos that show people help Alzheimer's patients remember important memories with music that happen to be heard in the exact moment. And other videos show babies react with different kinds of reactions at such a young age.
Mommy's gonna sing you a song. You want Mommy to sing a song, honey? Let me know how you feel about the song, okay? I don't want you to come around here no more. I beg you for mercy. You don't know how strong my weakness is, or how much it hurts me. 'Cause when you see it's over with her, I want to believe it's true. So I let you in, knowing tomorrow I'm gonna wake up missing you, wake up missing you, when the one.
This alone is proof that not only do we hear music, but we engage with it instinctively. But while watching those videos, have you ever thought, why does this happen? Well, according to the anxiety organization site, listening to music stimulates the brain and triggers neurochemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Our brains synchronize with the rhythm of the music we listen to. The rhythm from the genre of the music we listen to can affect us in different positive ways when it reaches into your brain. It promotes relaxation and uplifted mood. It reduces stress. It helps your focus and attention. It enhances memory, and it strengthens neural connections, making your brain grow. Can art change the world? It may not be a direct solution, but it can certainly be a powerful tool for a better world, a more beautiful one. Can music be the solution? According to Hans Christian Andersen, where words fail, music speaks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yoli, for speaking about music. I don't think many people understand how big of a part of our lives music really is. And now we're moving on to Katerina Karipidou, who's an artist, with a presentation called Living Out Loud.
Hello, this is my painting, Demons of a Neurodivergent Mind. It depicts different struggles that I go through in my everyday life as a person with ADHD and, well, also an alternative person that gets stared at a lot. I sometimes have sensory overload, sometimes I struggled with things that others don't, and they don't know why I struggle with it, and they can't understand it. So I wanted to depict the image of my soul and how I feel like every day. And I wanted the painting to be big and the person in it to be very small. And I just wanted to show how scary it is to me, different things that others can't really see, why they are so difficult for me to deal with. The elephant in the room are the very bright colors. They are me and every person trying to keep their creativity alive and their joy and their spark, while everything else seems to be a mess. When people are staring, the eyes, when there are different textures involved, when people are too loud, a lot of times. I struggle with noise sensitivity, I have misophonia, and some people don't understand that. And I just can't help but struggle with everyday life in school and in different circumstances. I lose my time, a lot of loss there. I don't know when the day passes, and when I lose my time sometimes, I forget to sleep. And when I sleep, I have anxiety about the next day, and I get sleep paralysis. And sometimes I'm afraid of other people. I'm afraid that people are fake to me. They don't mean what they say. They're not genuine. And I am really afraid of disingenuine people. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. So, since a lot of people don't seem to understand what I'm going through, I wanted to show them and tell them, because a lot of times they don't understand why I am the way I am. Even though I'm not a bad person, sometimes I slip through and act like it because I am not all right. So that's my painting. I hope you liked it. And thank you.
So now I want you to welcome on stage my two favorite people, Nefael Xagorari and Kalliope Ketskadakou, who will talk about femicides.
Hi, I'm Nefaeli.
And I'm Kalliope.
And we are here today to talk about femicides.
So, I accuse those who made me afraid to walk alone at night.
I want to walk alone at night and feel safe. I accuse those who made me need someone to drive me home so I can be safe.
I want to be safe by myself and not be forcing my friends to drive me home or walk me. And this isn't right. I accuse those who made me carry pepper spray and to defend myself.
And then they ban it.
Come on.
I accuse all of you who talk about provocative clothes and not about perverted minds.
I will wear whatever I want. It's my choice, none of yours. And no one has a right to tell me anything, judge me, touch me.
And not even looking at me.
So I accuse those who made us be silent, so we wouldn't ask for help.
And don't even think of that, to be silent. The police or your parents, someone has
to know.
I accuse all of them who knew and did nothing.
Like, come on. You live in the next door. I can hear your TV playing all night, and you can hear my screams. I accuse those who ignore reality, and they say that these crimes do not happen often. When?
When this is the statistics in the whole world.
Thank God we don't live in Asia.
Yes, but we live in Greece.
And this is the statistic for Greece, and there are more. They're not only that.
No more
silence, no more femicides. Thank you.
Now, we're going to see Pixels of Hate, the hidden face of racism. Please welcome to the stage Cleopatra, George, Lazaros, Panagiotis, Angeliki, Styliani, and Philippos.
Hi, I'm Cleopatra from EduSmart.
Hello, I'm Lazarus from EduSmart. I'm Panagiotis from EduSmart.
I'm George from EduSmart, and today we are here to talk about and stand up against cyberbullying and racism.
We stand before you today to accuse society of allowing cyberbullying and racism to thrive. These are not just words. These are real experiences that affect real people. Every day, people suffer because of online hate, discrimination, and cruel judgments. We see it, we hear it, and today we demand change. Cyberbullying is bullying that happens online, on social media, in group chats, and even in private messages. It can happen anytime, anywhere, and to anyone. Racism, on the other hand, is the belief that one race is superior to another, leading to discrimination, hate, and exclusion. Both leave scars, not just on the outside, but deep within. But what does it feel like to be a victim? Let's hear the truth. Imagine waking up to see your phone flooded with hateful comments. People telling you that you do not belong, that you are worthless, that you should disappear. This is the daily reality for many young people.
Cyberbullying is dangerous because it is constant. It doesn't just go away. It follows you home. It cripples your thoughts. It makes you question your worth. Victims experience anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Some stop going to school. Some turn to drugs, and some even stop believing in themselves.
And the worst part, bullies hide behind their screens, faceless and nameless. They feel untouchable, but their walls cut deep. Hate speech is everywhere, on social media, in the streets, in schools. People think they have the right to make someone feel less than human. People judge others for their skin color, religion, gender, or sexuality. Hate speech fuels discrimination. It isolates people. It turns words into weapons. And then there are microaggressions, small but harmful comments disguised as jokes or harmless observations, like, you speak good English for an immigrant, you don't act gay. Are you really from here? These comments might seem insignificant, but they build up. They remind people that they don't belong, that they are different, that they are judged. No one should have to justify their existence. No one should feel unsafe in their own skin.
Cyberbullying, hate speech, racism, they don't just hurt in the moment. They leave lasting damage. Victims suffer from depression, low self-esteem, eating disorders, and even physical health problems. Some carry weapons for self-defense, some isolate themselves, some lose trust in the world. It changes people. It makes them believe the lies they hear. It makes them feel like they don't matter. But we all do. And that's why we are standing here today, to say enough is enough.
So what can we do? How can we fight back? First, we need education. School, families, and social media platforms must teach young men the consequences of online hate. Second, we need accountability. Social media platforms must take responsibility for the hate they allow to spread. Bullies must face the consequences. Third, we need to support each other. If you see someone being bullied, speak up. If you experience hate, don't stay silent. And if you feel alone, reach out to somebody. Today we accuse society of failing us, but we refuse that we refuse to accept a world where someone is suffering because of their skin color. We refuse to let cyberbullying and racism continue unchecked. Today we accuse society of failing us, but also challenge it to do it better. Let's make a difference together. Let's have a moment of silence about all the victims of cyberbullying. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Was exactly what we needed to preach unity and inclusion. Next up, we have George and Efthimis, both athletes. With our presentation, Raise Your Voices for Children.
Hi, everyone. Today's presentation theme is Raising Our Voices for Children. I am George Halikas.
And I am Efthimis Chiapikoudis. Meet 12-year-old Alejandra. Can you see Alejandra? She is woken up by her father at 4 a.m. every morning. She does not go to school, but instead she collects small selfies in El Salvador. In her rush to get to work, she does not have the time to eat breakfast, which supplies her with the energy she needs to work for 14 hours. Instead, she smokes cigarettes and takes pills that help her stay awake during work. Every day when she has to go to work, she has to face bad weather conditions, mosquito bites, and cuts and scrapes from pulling the selfies out of the mud. In addition to that, she earns very little money, and most of her money go to the cigars she smokes and the pills she takes to stay awake during work. For Alejandra, life seems like a tunnel with no escape. Sometimes, even the justice system does not condemn child labor. Specifically, in one case, the Supreme Court sided with the food giants Nestle and Cargill and threw out a lawsuit claiming that they knowingly bought cocoa beans from farms in Africa that used child slave labor. 6 people accused the food giants, saying that they had been trafficked as children to work as slaves and that they were made harvest cocoa beans that were destined for the American market. The food giants denied the claims, and the Supreme Court sided with them, and sadly the case was dismissed.
So, some violations of children's rights are child labor. Reportedly, 160 million children are forced into labor. They are exposed in hot weather, picking crops, to pollution, in traffic, as well as working with dangerous machinery. Secondly, another violation of children's rights is the lack of education. Many children are deprived of it. Some causes could be natural disasters, such as emergencies and wars. The location, the schools might be just too far away, and poverty. Some families might face financial problems. Some other violations of children's rights are domestic violence. Almost every child faces domestic violence, referring to the violence that happens within a child's home. Some examples are sexual abuse, physical abuse, and emotional abuse. Another violation of children's rights is child trafficking. Apart from domestic violence, 3 out of 4 children deal with child trafficking. Child trafficking is also considered as modern-day slavery.
Malnutrition. A shocking statistic about children worldwide is that many children suffer from malnutrition, which means that their bodies are not getting the amount of food and vitamins that they need to grow strong and healthy. According to the Convention of the Rights of the Child, every child deserves and must have the right to have access to food, drinking water, a healthy environment, freedom, education, the right to be protected from any abuse and exploitation, the right to be heard and be equally treated, and the right to be loved by everyone and not be discriminated against.
In conclusion, talking about children's rights is super important. So, it is super important as they have what they need to grow happily and healthily. Just like adults have rights, kids do too. But sometimes we as a society need to make sure that those rights are well respected. We should take as soon as possible drastic action as a whole community, such as advocate for stronger laws, enforce stricter punishments, raise awareness through social media, and support organizations which fight for children's rights. Our presentation has come to an end. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. This was such an important theme to touch on. And to continue, we have Alex Lapis. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I have no idea.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Lapas, and this is my presentation called I Have No Idea. So this year, I wanted to come to the youth conference, but I had no idea what to present. I kept thinking and thinking, but I just couldn't figure out anything. I even asked for help from other people, but they didn't know either. And after weeks, I came to a conclusion. I will talk about everything that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why, I have no idea why this slide exists. I have no idea why I have to wake up so early in the morning, because students are always tired in school, and when teachers ask us why we're tired and we explain to them, most of the time they just say that it's excuses and that we should just sleep earlier. I have no idea why in school we have to learn ancient Greek, whether we have to learn so many useless facts, why we have to learn so many grammar rules, why there are so many written exams, and why we have to memorize useless texts. I have no idea why we have so much homework and so little free time, why we use outdated books and don't have a choice about what we should learn. I have no idea why we have to waste so much time on geography if we have Google Maps, on history if we can just look it up, on complex calculations if we just have AI, on mandatory subjects we should have free choice, why we do so many lectures and not do something more interactive and fun, and why we have to waste so much time in religion and not choose what we want to do. Okay, I have no idea why you can only vote every 4 years if you make a bad choice. Why you make bad choices while it's our future. Why you don't fix anything. Why the school system doesn't change even though it sucks. Why less important jobs get paid more than the important ones. And why you do jobs you don't love. I have no idea why you give birth to children if you don't know how to raise them. I'm only 13. I have no idea why the world is the way it is. I just want it to be better.
Well, thank you, Alex, for your presentation. It was actually based on a lot of truths, not gonna lie. And I really liked it personally. So moving on, we have Alexandra, who loves learning new languages, I guess. Catherine, who loves track and field, and Missini, who loves expressing her opinion in public, with a presentation called Ending Hunger, Exposing the Guilty, Uniting the World.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our presentation about hunger. Firstly, I will talk about what is hunger. So, hunger is a global issue that affects the majority of people worldwide. Specifically, it is referred to people facing severe food insecurity or malnutrition. Look, imagine that we are living in 2025 and until now there are 733 million people still go hungry. Most of them face hunger due to economic, political and other environmental factors. As a result, the number of malnourished people increased and they don't have access to food, one of the most important human rights in our world.
What are the causes of world hunger? Only 4% of the wealth of the 225 wealthiest capitalists will be enough to ensure food for all the inhabitants of the earth, while the wealth of the 7 wealthiest individuals could end poverty forever. It has become clearer than ever before that the greatest cause of hunger in modern world is the unequal distribution of wealth. Imagine, a company paid the famous basketball player $2 million to make a 30-second advertisement, while at the same time the company paid 30,000 Indonesians to make the specific model. And the company made hundreds of millions of profits at the product sales. Nearly 2/3 of the world's population survive on less than $3 a day.
Who does hunger affect? Hunger affects everybody. 1. Children who need food to grow health mentally and physically. 2. Women who stand out in the society and their careers. 3. Refugees and people facing a war who flee their countries. And 4. People living in poverty who need to survive like it's their last.
What are the causes of hunger? Hunger causes sickness, social issues, and death. Hungry people's weakened immune system can leave the door open for quite a lot of diseases and death. Hungry people are also often regarded as lesser humans and become victims of laughter and social isolation.
Who do we accuse? Capitalism, which means governments and corporations. Governments for policies that don't prioritize food security or address inequality. Corporations for practices that contribute to environmental degradation or food resources.
What we can do to end hunger? One possible way is to inform people. By involving people, we can end this global problem quicker. Also, by protecting each other as an Entangeld team, we can change this world for the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls, for shedding light on the surreal times we're living in. Moving on, we have Tangled in the Shallows by Anastasis, Ioanna Eleni 2 times, Theodora, Anastasia, Diamandis, Kalliopi, Kassiani, and Anna. The floor is yours, guys.
Tonight, we dive into glitter, into fears, into questions we're not supposed to ask. Sometimes, we feel like we're trapped, not being able to express ourselves. It's like a cult. Tonight, we welcome you to Tangled, Tangled in the Shallows. Man, am I the greatest? My congratulations. All my love and patience. All my admirations. All the times I waited for you to want me naked. Made it all look painless. Man, am I the greatest?
And when the light come up, may we all remember, we were never made to stay shallow. Where are you hanging on so tight? To the rope that I'm hanging from. Off this island, this was an escape plan. Carefully timed it, so let me go and dive into the waves below. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing? For somebody I thought was my savior, you sure make me do a whole lot of labor.
We were born in deep waters, but somehow we ended up here, tangled in the shallows. Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, make some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old.
They told us to stay on the surface, to keep it pretty, to keep it simple, to shrink ourselves until we fit, to mirror the world around us, instead of showing what's inside us.
But what if shallows isn't where we belong? It was a weekend on Wild Wild. Blew down the doors to let me in. Shattered the windows and sounded drums. People couldn't believe it.
So let this stage become a mirror and a window. Let this show be a drag and a dream. Let us all tingle together. You ruined everything good. Always said you were misunderstood. Made all my moments your own. Just leave me alone. I don't ask why they call on me. Can't do no wrong when it's all on me. Armor over my heart, full of scars on me. Globe in my palm as it falls on me. I ain't playing, but they see I leveled up. They fed up, I don't act like I'm fed enough.
Circles, keep running in circles. Feels like every dream you ever had slowly fades away. Hopeless, some days feel so hopeless. Just another day, another struggle, another one to chase.
Because the truth is, even in the shallows, we're all tangled together. The mask you wear touches the mask I wear. Your silence shapes my silence, but your courage can I wake and lie. I had a dream, I got everything I wanted, not what you think, but if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare. To anyone who might care. Thought I could fly, so I stepped out of the golden, nobody cried, nobody even noticed. I saw them standing right there. Kinda thought that they might care.
I'm of the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they cannot us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. I'm of the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they cannot us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
Put your paws up, because you are born this way.
My mama told me when I was young, we're all superstars. She pulled my hair, put my lipstick on, in the glass of Evoda. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, 'cause you made him perfectly.
Okay, so, wow. Congratulations, guys, it was amazing. So, last but not least, we have Lena Kiousi, Spyros Papazois, who couldn't make it, and Christos Kostadinidis, Breaking the Chains, the fight for gender justice.
Can we have another one?
Okay, so I'm Lena, and he's...
Ένα τυχαίο γεγονός. Κορίτσια, παιδιά, δεν ξέρω τι έγινε.
Εντάξει.
Αυτό νομίζω το αστείο. Πιο πρώτο με είδες.
Με τα κυτρίνα, ποιον αγαπάς καλύτερα, ποιον αγαπάς καλύτερα. Την είχατε στείλει.
Ένα τυχαίο γεγονός, μια νύχτα με αστέρια, νύχτα με αστέρια, που βρέθηκε αναρχικός σε λάθος μπάτσου χέρια. Τυχαίο γεγονός, έπεσε μοναχός του αστέρια, που βρέθηκε αναρχικός σε λάθος μπάτσου χέρια.
Ήταν μετιασμένος, είπαν του φανερώθηκε η θεία παρουσία, μα ήτανε αλλεργικός σε κάθε εξουσία. Ένα τυχαίο γεγονός, μια νύχτα με αστέρια, που βρέθηκε αναρχικός σε λάθος μπάτσου χέρια. Κι απ' τα ανοιχτό παράθυρο έπεσε μοναχός του, γιατί πολύ τον τρέλανε ο άλλος εαυτός του. Υπάρχει ένας θάνατος, ένας τυχαίος φόνος που επαναλαμβάνεται στα μάτια μου μπροστά. Απέναντι στο άδικο, κανείς μη μένει μόνος, δεν φτιάχτηκαν οι άνθρωποι να ζουνε χωριστά. Ένα τυχαίο γεγονός, μια νύχτα με αστέρια, που βρέθηκε αναρχικός σε λάθος μπάτσου χέρια. Κι απ' τα ανοιχτό παράθυρο έπεσε μοναχός του, γιατί πολλοί τον τρέλανε ο άλλος εαυτός του. Είναι θέλημα Θεού ό,τι και να συμβαίνει, ό,τι στο πίσω μας κρατά και ό,τι μπροστά πηγαίνει. Άλλοι τον είπανε Χουάν, άλλοι τον λένε Βαγγέλη, άλλοι τον είπανε Χριστό και άλλοι τον λένε Πινέλη. Ένα τυχαίο γεγονός, μια νύχτα με αστέρια, που βρέθηκε αναρχικός σε λάθος μπάτσου χέρια. Κι απ' τα ανοιχτό παράθυρο έπεσε μοναχός του, γιατί πολλοί τον τρέλανε ο άλλος εαυτός του.
Δεν προλαβαίνουμε. Πρέπει να την πείτε.
Δεν έχουμε τα charts.
Αυτό, σχεδιασμό. Κάντε το χωρίς. Έλα, τέλος. Πάμε, πάμε.
Okay, so we're gonna have to improvise a little bit, but it's okay.
We chose this topic because not a lot of people are informed about it.
And we want to raise awareness about it since it's something
that should concern all people around the world.
Okay, those charts that I was about to present to you all, but unfortunately I can't, showed femicides in Greece in the years 2010 to 2022. As a previous presentation saw the same chart that I would present, I think the name is femicides. We can see the rise from in the years 2021-2022. It had a massive rise. Also, I made another chart about some European countries that we can see that Greece is up there, like top 10 most that have most femicides in the year 2022, with the first being Italy. Yeah, also a fact about that you should know and you should be worried about is that in the year 2022, 89,000 women were killed.
Okay, some religious laws discourage or prohibit women from working or getting an education. For example, in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, the religious law has banned women from access to secondary and higher education. In some ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities, women are expected to focus entirely on family life and not pursue higher education or careers.
Okay, so here I would have another chart about the rapes in Greece from the years 2010 to 2022, but the only thing that I can inform you about is that in the year 2022, it was the year with the most rapes in Greece, with the number going to 303 rapes just in 2022. Also, the government not only doesn't try to stop this, but also ignores it, and even in some specific cases, lets it continue with little or no punishment. The people who are supposed to protect us are helping them instead of condemning them for their actions. For example, Balaskas, politicals that probably everyone knows here, who, as a former trade unionist of the Greek police, had publicly said that a man who commits a femicide can be put in prison for up to only 4 years if he reacts calmly and says that what he did was done in a state of rage. And that's outrageous for me, personally. Wait.
In several religious laws, men have more authority over marriage and divorce. For example, in some interpretations of Islamic law, men can divorce their wives instantly, but women face stricter conditions. In Orthodox Judaism, only a husband can grant a divorce, which can trap women in unwanted marriages. In Greece, women were not given the right to file for a divorce until 1983. Also, women had to have a dowry until the same year when it was abolished. We live in a community that continues to follow the patriarchal norms and values. Did you know that the word femicide is not even a term in the Penal Code of Greece? The state does not want to acknowledge the fact that behind a woman's murder, there's always a man who was told that this woman was his possession. Why does the state not want to highlight the fact that some women are killed just because they're women? When we will open our eyes, how many more victims will there have to be before we put an end to this?
We accuse the government for gender injustice.
And we demand changes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, students. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, parents. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Manoli. Thank you, Kalliopi. Thank you, everybody who is here to listen to the teenage voices. Thank you, teenagers. Till next year. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, Thessaloniki. Thank you, Northern Greece. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Yanni. καταφέραμε, ρε. Σήμερα έγινε το 7ο Youth Conference και για πρώτη φορά έγινε στη Θεσσαλονίκη. Θα πω δύο πράγματα. Το ένα είναι ότι ήρθε ένας πολιτικός, ένας βουλευτής, ο οποίος μόλις άκουσε την πρώτη ομιλία των παιδιών για τα τέμπη έφυγε, ενώ μιλούσαν τα παιδιά, γιατί δεν άντεξε την αλήθεια τους. Και το άλλο είναι ότι ήρθαν αγαπημένοι μας άνθρωποι, όπως η Ζωή, και μίλησαν με τα παιδιά, ανάμεσα στα παιδιά, έμειναν ως το τέλος και τα άκουσαν με την καρδιά τους και με την ψυχή τους.
Πρώτα να σου δώσω ένα φιλί. Αυτό που κάνεις και αυτό που κάνετε και αυτό που κάνουν τα παιδιά είναι σπουδαίο, γιατί έχει ατόφια αλήθεια και πίστη ότι μπορούμε να αλλάξουμε τον κόσμο που μπορούμε. Βρήκα πολύ συγκινητικό ότι τα παιδιά θέτουν τα θέματα που οι μεγάλοι προσπαθούν να κουκουλώσουν. Τέμπη, μάτι, δικαιοσύνη, έμφυλη βία, γυναικοκτονίες, ισότητα, ανοχή, ανεκτικότητα, συμπερίληψη, αγάπη, το τέλος του ρατσισμού, το τέλος των διακρίσεων, το τέλος της μυσαλλοδοξίας και ακόμη πώς δεν θα αφήσουμε την τεχνολογία να μας καθυποτάξει, πώς δεν θα αφήσουμε τη δημιουργικότητά μας να μας την πάρουν. Πραγματικά εγώ φεύγω πολύ πιο αισιόδοξη, πλούσια σε ιδέες και με μεγάλη σιγουριά ότι ο κόσμος θα αλλάξει, θα τον αλλάξουμε μαζί με τα παιδιά και ότι έρχονται πολύ καλύτερες μέρες που θα τις φέρουμε εμείς.
Τις φέρουμε εμείς μαζί με τα παιδιά. Ευχαριστούμε.
Εμείς.